Welcome to my channel Shadows of History. Some women survive. Some women endure. Elisabeth Morrow built a future out of loss, hard work, and a baby on her back. And she called it love. She buried her husband, gave birth 2 days later, and returned to work before the week was over. It was 1887 in Dodge City, Kansas, and Elisabeth Morrow was only 22 when everything she thought her life would be collapsed in a matter of days. Her husband caught typhoid without warning. One moment he was standing in their small rented room, promising that things would get better. 3 days later, he was gone. Fever stole his voice. Delirium stole his recognition. Death came quickly and without mercy. There was no goodbye, no last conversation, no time to prepare for what came next. Elizabeth stood beside his grave alone. She was pregnant, penniless, and already in debt for the funeral. Every coin used to bury him was borrowed. Every face around her belonged to someone who could offer sympathy but not survival. Grief pressed down on her chest, but she did not have the luxury of falling apart. There was no one else to carry what was coming. 2 days later, her daughter was born. The child arrived screaming, furious, alive. A small miracle wrapped in exhaustion and fear. Elizabeth held her with shaking arms and understood immediately that her life no longer belonged to her alone. She had no family to fall back on. No inheritance. No safety net. The world she lived in did not forgive widows, and it certainly did not protect young women with babies and empty pockets. So she worked. She washed other people's clothes until her fingers cracked and bled. She scrubbed whiskey off saloon floors before sunrise. She hauled water, cleaned rooms, and washed sheets at a hotel late into the night while her newborn slept in a neighbor's spare room 2 blocks away. She counted hours instead of days. Pennies instead of dreams. Some nights she ate almost nothing. Some mornings her body felt too heavy to lift. But rent was always paid. Her daughter was always fed. And no matter how raw her throat felt, she sang lullabies every night, refusing to let the child hear the tears she swallowed. Time moved slowly, but it moved forward. Years passed. The baby grew. Elizabeth never asked for help. She never stopped pushing. In 1895, she saved just enough to open a tiny boarding house. 4 rooms. 1 stove. No room for mistakes. It was not comfort, but it was hers. In those walls lived everything she had fought for. By 1900, she owned the building outright. Her daughter Mary watched her mother's hands harden and split from years of labor. She watched her bend, but never break. She learned early what strength actually looked like. Not loud, not celebrated, just steady and relentless. Stories like this are why Evilvarium exists, because quiet lives often carry the loudest truths. In 1923, Mary stood on a stage at Dodge City High to give her commencement speech. She did not talk about herself. She talked about her mother. She told the crowd that dignity is not something handed to you. It is something you decide not to give up. Elizabeth sat among the audience, older now, her body marked by decades of work. She had never been famous. Her name would never appear in history books. But she had lived long enough to see her daughter succeed, to hold her grandchildren, and to know that hunger and fear would end with her. Years later, someone asked her how she survived it all. She thought quietly before answering. Every morning, she looked at her child and made herself a promise. That her daughter would never know hunger. That she would never have to beg. And that promise was stronger than grief, stronger than exhaustion, stronger than fear. Some women survive. Some women endure. Elisabeth Morrow built a future out of loss, hard work, and a baby on her back. And she called it love.